As I am typing this, I am trying to be as calm as possible. As calm as possible. I am hoping to God it cannot read what I am writing. I have acquired a new friend. He is a very nice one. He stays with me all the time. He stays with me everywhere. He terrifies me. Nothing I do can get him off my back. It started around a month back. I and my sister had gone to Diga. It isn't very far from where we are, but it takes quite some time. Their area is divided into two places, Old Diga and New Diga. A month ago, I and my sister landed in New Diga in hopes to have a few days in the beach and enjoy the waters. It wasn't a particularly small decision, seeing that the humidity made it very difficult to as much as breathe in normal air. It was hotter than it in here, but I think we enjoyed the nights. It was cool. That's the thing about being with my sister. When we came together, every dumb idea started seeming like the smartest idea in the world. We were there for a week. On the fourth day of our visit, we decided to very dumbly walk from Old Diga to New Diga. It is quite the distance, and the path we chose was quite secluded and hadn't been used for quite some time after a new, clean path had been constructed for easy travel by car. Due to this reason, an overgrowth of trees surrounded the path, and the path in itself was full of shrubberies and creepers. We, our two sisters, walked from there without any heed to the numerous dangers we could have in. There could have been burglars, psychopaths, animals, things, but we, being the foolish sisters that we were, we decided to walk the path and call it an experience. We decided to be the strongest people on earth. We could tackle whatever came our way. Do you know what the only weapon we had was? It was a flashlight. So with an instinctive Chuck Norris-like attitude, we set off down the dark road, guided by our flashlights, keeping a positive mentality, and sure enough, we hadn't encountered any ungodly things till at least midway, halfway through the road, we came across this awkward, smallish structure on the side of the road. My immediate thought was it could be an elaborate doghouse. It was made of reddish stone, and its carvings all around a tall, at least according to the height of the structure, domed doorway. Its conical roof came till our thighs, and it seemed to be a pretty interesting structure. I and my sister made a stop there, and I stooped and looked inside. Obviously the inside was dark, and even though I shone the flashlight in, I saw only darkness. Maybe a few creepers to add to it. Deeming the structure nothing unusual, we set back on our path. I think it was then that it all started. As we walked, I heard footsteps behind us, hushed footsteps, like someone was trying to sneak up behind us. I turned back, but obviously there was nothing, only a slight breeze. My sister heard it next, and she told me about it. We called out in the darkness behind us. Nothing. Obviously, slightly scared, because it was even the possible of rogue psychopaths finding refuge there occurred to us. I still can't fathom how it didn't occur to us right in the beginning. We kept hearing the footsteps, which made by the end had turned into a hushed slithering throughout the rest of the path, and it only stopped when the woods ended, and we were in New Diga. Do you know what we did while we were hearing the muffled footsteps? We ignored it. The rest of our stay was uneventful, and after we came back, almost a week had passed. It started up somewhere in the middle of the night. I couldn't tell what time it was, but I kept hearing the slithering in the room. I wasn't the squeaky and easily scared kind of girl, so I flipped on the switch and looked around the room for snakes or any holes that it had escaped into. Nothing. I dismissed it and went back to sleep. The next night, when I heard the slithering, I flipped on my torchlight to check the room. I checked the whole room and was just going back to sleep when something odd caught my eye. My desk was directly in front of me, and the chair was pushed into it neatly. The desk was placed in a way that when I sat on the desk, I had my back facing the bed. From beside the chair, I saw a weird glint. At first, I thought it might be something metallic, which is until it moved, and very deliberately so. At this point, I was scared. I calmly got off my bed, pretending I didn't see it, and left my room. I went straight into my sister's room, woke her up, and told her what I saw. At first, she was skeptical, naturally, but then she decided to check my bedroom for me. When she did, there was nothing under my desk or anywhere. In that matter, the next night, I awoke to a particularly whining. Creepy as it was, it didn't stop from the turning on the flashlight. This time, the light fell directly onto its torso, and my heart jumped into my mouth. There was a creature in my room with me, and as soon as the light fell on it, it slithered towards me, slowly but surely. At this point, I was paralyzed, mouth agape, and horror-struck eyes. I never really got a good look at it, since as it got closer, the light concentrated on a smaller part of it, but its torso looked like it was veiled, or maybe it was made of liquid smoke. I don't know. It slithered closer and closer, blocking out the light from my flashlight. And I felt something very close to my face. It wasn't a breath, but I remember being terrified beyond imagination. It was very close to my face, and it whispered only one thing in the creepiest sound I have heard till now. Friends? I'm sure that is what I heard before I passed out. You would think it had stopped coming to my vision, but no. It comes to me every night. It creeps on me when I am working with my back to my bed. I sometimes feel like it's lying next to me in the dark, while I lay quietly, paralyzed with fear. When I had tried to tell my sister about it, it created a distraction in the kitchen, and very fleetingly showed itself. I knew I was to stay quiet. I couldn't talk about it. This has been going on for a month now. I think it thinks I'm its friend, but it terrifies me beyond anything. I don't know how to get rid of it. It really terrifies me. I don't want it around. I know I can't talk about it, but I'm hoping to God it cannot read it. I read now. Kill. Everybody. Kill. Friend. Read.